No, Siri, I don't need you right now. Oh, I did forget that, didn't I? Alright, this should be on. Now I need to pull it up on the computer. I think for cooking this is good, but for reactions, I don't know. Might be better to get like a proper USB. Waiting for mobile stream to begin. Had a live stream on mobile, but it's already streaming. We are 30 seconds in. I'm the whole way over here. That's crazy. Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna mute. It's at 140. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just at 140. That's why it looks so terrible. Lol. That should be pretty good. But we're gonna move the camera a bit. How does that look? Cool, cool, cool. I wonder if I can zoom in. Like, I know I can record, I think, the camera. Can I zoom in on the YouTube? Can. Guys, I'm learning so much right now. Coolio. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, we have this light over here, and that's going to be fun. But first, I need to throw the thumbnail in. Stupid, 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 stupid. Film and animation. Thumbnail, change, should have PNG. It's 1220. Excuse me, where's my PNG? You know what I could do, actually? We're gonna go... Guys, this is gonna be so scuffed. It's okay. Wow, that little thing on my microphone is really hot. Okay, we're gonna... Yeah? Oh, does it not have the size? Aw. Guys, this is terrible. Why am I struggling so bad right now? Question, and now we're gonna open that up. Alright. Now here's the thing. I also don't have a remote for this, do I? Just realized that. So I have my little light thing. Oh wait, hold up. I just found a remote. We're gonna see if this works. Because if it does, that'd be very swag. Come on, come on. Let's go! Watch in the background. Behind how obvious is the colors. Let's go. Okay, okay. So I have a reason for the light. Trust me, big trust. I have this little remote. And whenever we change topic, I'm actually going to color code this. So if you look in the description, which I'm going to be inputting right now, you'll know if you're going to be spoiled or not. I did say I was going to do research for this. I did not, but it's okay because I still kind of big brain. Oh, changing the volume. I don't want to do that. Now, please don't yell at me, keyboard. I ordered a new keyboard for tomorrow. It's okay. Oh my gosh. See, this is why. This is why. You know what? We're not going to be playing Fortnite right now, so let's take it out. See, this one just doesn't connect. Like, it's quite literally a piece of crap. It is from like one of those $10 bundles for the mouse, keyboard, everything. So that's probably why. And it's starting to get really annoying. So let's see. We got blue. So we're going to have blue. Let's do green. So East Blue / live action, because if we talk about the live action, that includes the East Blue arc. Blue and then green and then what? Red is going to be time skip. Pink is Wano. Dude, I'm gonna have to try to remember this. This is the problem. Hold up. We good. We good. I got. Hold up, guys. I got this. We're good. We're good. So green will be pre-time skip, whereas red will be like up through like the new like Fishman Island, the new emperors, all that, because it's kind of like it's kind of one thing, really. Okay, so we have that. So yeah, so white will be Manga / Egghead. Pink / purple will be Wano. Some kind of red color will be post time skip. Pre time skip will be green. And then East Blue will be some kind of blue. I'm just going to turn it off for now until we start talking. So yeah, I think that should be good. I do want to add some tags. So give me a second. I started this early so I can set this all up. Okay. So we're gonna copy the video link. I'm gonna go to Discord, and where's the self promo? Dang, right on time. I'm uploading. Alrighty. Where's this thing at? So promo. Nope. Okay. Alright. So I can't do too much. Oh, let's not drop the microphone. That'd be bad. So I got this, and all that's good. Now, while we wait for some people to join, and for the word to get out and all that kind of stuff, I actually got a nice shot glass. I have a little shot glass collection, in case you can't tell. And in this one, I have some thumbtacks. I'm gonna put the microphone on. It's very scuffed right now. It's okay. And what we're gonna do is we got two nice posters. One not as nice, but you know, we're gonna do what we can do. And the other one is nice, sealed, and you guys gotta wait to see it. So I'm gonna show you this one first. It's my hero. Yo, I already know some of y'all are gonna roast me for this, including Own if you saw this. And you know what I have to say? I don't care. I like my hero. And actually, you know what? He's actually been starting to enjoy it a whole lot more, which I'm happy about. Aw, dang. I thought people were adding me. It was freaking new anime. And it wasn't even a good anime. It was that stupid dinosaur looking one. I'm still so confused by that one. I'm going to be completely honest. Okay. Just try not to stab myself. I'm going to put it way over here. Dude, my ceiling is disgusting from all this bug splatter. Alright, we're going to throw. You know, this ain't gonna be straight. And you know what? I have to roll with it. This is gonna make a... Oh boy. This should hopefully make the videos feel so much more better too than having this ugly white ceiling and this really crappy windowsill. Y'all are gonna love... I hope that didn't break. Ow. Bro, I'm struggling right now. Okay, it looks fine. That's already looking fire. If I'm completely honest. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see it though, are you? That's unfortunate. Maybe on the PlayStation. But I know you all are gonna love this one, bro. This one's a peak poster. I'm telling you. I'm freaking telling you. Guys, it's Wano. It's the Wano Strawhats. Look how cool this looks, bro. I freaking love this thing. I bought it when I went out with my mom with Christmas money. But I just haven't set it up. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. Alright, so I gotta figure out where I want to put this thing. I think right here should be good, or right beside the My Hero poster. I'm watching chat, don't worry. Yo, someone's spamming love. Who's spamming love? Who's in the chat right now? Welcome, welcome. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're struggling right now, but once we get this in, we'll be able to start, and I'm going to start doing some rambling. Yo, it's Aaron. Welcome, welcome. We be struggling right now. I got my boy Beppo in the corner of this poster. Alright, alright. Alright, I want this blue one. Because I like blue. Alright, alright. Wowza. Hold up. Is this overlapping? What the heck? Oh, that one just came out, didn't it? RIP. I don't know where that tack went. It's okay. It's probably for the best. I need to be over here more. Yeah, I need to be up way higher. But see, now that one, that tack's out. Dude, I'm struggling. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the stream. This ain't gonna be your normal stream, I'll tell you that much. It's gonna be fire, though. Ow. This is such an uncomfortable position. Okay. Now, where is my shot glass of tacks? Cool, yeah, we're gonna be here for a little bit. Then we're gonna put my shot glass of tacks back. Yo, I found the tack. That's good. Oh, really did not want to step on that thing. Oh, dude, I don't think you guys realize just how much of an upgrade that feels. Like it just spices up the room so much. Oh, let's go. Now, is the stream behind? Okay, the stream is behind. Cool. So yeah, you guys can't really see that, but what I can do is Hi, I'm back here. That's so crazy. Anyway, here we go. Going on our trip in our favorite rocket ship. So let's go. Got the One Piece poster. Look at it. It's great. Probably should have put the color on, but oh well. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, don't it? Alright, we gotta put the... Bro, I keep dropping y'all. I apologize. You are getting motion sickness, probably, from this chaos. Alright. Alright, we good. So here's what happened when I put it in its grip. It it turned the power button on. So it almost just called 911 because it was holding it permanently. Like, that could have been so bad. You guys have no idea how bad that could have been. Ooh. Alright, look, we even got the Doctor's Ombre sign in the background, bro. I'm like professional. Freaking love this. I want to have to straighten these posters out, but it's okay. So let's turn it off. Check some chats because I got like 3 different chats I want to double check. Just want to check the Anime Plus and then Nerd Rant. Nothing. Cool. So I'm gonna say this at the beginning too. Chat will be spoiler filled. Like, I'm not about to, how can we do a Q&A? So you're gonna have to ask it. So if you really don't want to get spoiled, then here's what I'm gonna recommend. You're gonna wait till the video's uploaded, and I'm gonna be putting some timestamps for each question as I go through. So if you're asking a question about Egghead, or here, let's do East Blue. Say that you have a question about Syrup Village. Okay, I'm gonna be like, who's I don't know. What's the geographical location of what's it called? Geographical location of Syrup Village. I don't know. And I'm gonna put on blue, so that way people know that we are talking about East Blue. And then I'm gonna put in the description afterwards. I'm gonna put in the description afterwards the question, and that's gonna be at minute right now 24, right? Like right now it'd be 23:34, and it's gonna be a timestamp, and then you can click on that, and you can come back and see the answer. So that's how we're gonna do this. And I'm seeing some questions that you're putting, and these are kind of fire, so we'll talk about it. I probably should have done another color. What does yellow look like? Let's do yellow. We're gonna quickly put in yellow will be post One Piece or something, or end of story. And let me write this down too, so that way I have it remember on my sticky note. Coolio. I think that concludes everything that I need to do, other than just kind of ranting. I'm gonna be here for a few hours, gonna be honest, just kind of chatting about One Piece. It's gonna be great. If you have questions, type them in the chat. I have my computer open right here, so I'll be keeping a close eye on all the different chats, like my Discord server, the Nerd Rant Discord server, and the Anime Plus Discord server. So if you don't want to chat here and you want to type it there, go for it. I'll be keeping an eye out on all 3 of them while I'm talking. Uh, so I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna go question by question. Uh, I do want to start by explaining because I know just so everyone knows, because I've mentioned in the anime server I'm in and stuff, just how much One Piece I know, and it's a lot. I've watched the entire series at minimum twice. At minimum twice. I've watched up through Alabasta quite literally over a half dozen times, like 6, 7, 8 times. I've watched all of Pre-Time Skip 3 or 4 times, and I've watched time skip, like I said, at least twice, some arcs more. Like Wano, I've only seen all of Wano twice. Um, that's like up through past Gear 5. Uh, so I know a lot. I'm also now rereading the manga. I'm currently halfway through Skypiea, and I am caught up on the manga after the anime. I kind of gave up. I started in like 2019, 2018, 2017, something like that, and keep watching. And then this year, after Gear 5, I'm like, I don't want to wait for this. So here we are. I started reading, and now I even read the scans because when I'm on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, I can't not see spoilers for One Piece, so I just kind of watch it. It's starting last week. I'm going to be doing Egghead Island arc reactions, where I'm going to be doing the same thing. It's just going to be my face. I'm going to be watching it on here for copyright reasons. But yeah. And I think that's it. If you have questions about my One Piece like journey or something, go ahead and send that too. It doesn't have to be just about One Piece. This is gonna be kind of like chill. But yeah, I know the anime like a lot. I've seen multiple arcs. I've watched. I was just saying in the anime server, like I sent a video. It's like I watch like a good dozen One Piece theory videos a day. Like I am constantly thinking about theories, connecting the dots, reading SBS questions and answers. Um, so with that, we're about halfway in, 30 minutes in. It is 5:15 p.m. and we're gonna start going with this. And I got my boy Anime Plus Ere in the chat with some questions. Um, and we're gonna be going. Yo, Rex, welcome to the stream, my boy. Yeah, no. If you want to go back, read the description for the colors. Obviously, you don't have to worry about spoilers. But in the description, I do have all the colors because, like I said, I want to be trying to make it so that way anyone can join. Or if you want to come back later. Uh, and I just kind of went over a little bit of my One Piece journey. But we're about to start with some area, the questions Ari asked, and we're gonna start with the manga. And manga is actually gonna be the white. So maybe there we go. There we go. It's white. So the first question is, and again, so this is manga only. So if you are an anime only, this is gonna be a spoiler for you. So keep that in mind. This is for the Egghead Island arc. That's the only arc that we're in. Maybe by at the end of the year, we're gonna have 2 different manga arcs, and then I'll explain. But right now, this is Egghead. And Ari's question is, do you think Garp died? Big plot, big spoiler, I know, but I warned for Egghead. So what this is referring to is Kobe got kidnapped. We know this from the anime, like Kobe already got kidnapped, and Garp is going to rescue him. Uh, and it's kind of a big fight. Kobe got kidnapped by Blackbeard, one of the Yonkos, and he he went in guns a blazing. He fought like a whole bunch of the Titanic captains, which is just wild. I also just realized I would be using my phone to research some names right now, and I'm using my phone to stream. So that's so unfortunate because my computer's butt cheeks. Um, oh well. So yeah, he got attacked by some Titanic, kidnapped, and he had to fight the Titanic captains. Blackbeard himself was not there. However, there was another huge threat, Aokiji or Kuzan, who was the Ice Admiral. For people that don't remember, post time skip, we realized that there was a war between these two, and that's actually what created Punk Hazard, was the battle between Akainu and Aokiji, the magma and ice. and like the battle went on for days. I think it was like 7 days or 5 to 7 days. There goes the camera. That's so unfortunate. The tape was not enough. Yo, hold up. What's happening? Guys, this is so scuffed. I apologize. But we gotta do what we gotta do. Why? Why are you being like this? Dude, camera's going rogue for real. Dude, it's fine. Why? Oh, is it because it's on? Dude, I've got enough room in here, bro. Alright. We chill. Alright. Just gotta be careful. And we're gonna move this because we don't need that camera right now. Alright, cool. You can still see Dr. Zombrain, you can still see the colors, that's the big thing. Just gonna have to scooch over a bit. Which is all good. Where was I? So then, yeah, Kuzan, Aokiji. So then what happened after that was, so yeah, that happened, and Aokiji, I forget both of their real names. Akainu is now the fleet admiral. Aokiji left, and he actually joined Blackbeard, which is pretty crazy. And now he was there, and what we learn in Egghead during this flashback or this scene is that Garp actually not only trained Kobe, he also trained Aokiji. And they had a fight, and then it ends off with Garp's showing off all these crazy moves, right? He's showing off some pretty crazy stuff. Kobe also shows off his Honesty Impact, which is his big named attack, like Red Rock or something from Luffy, or Onigiri Purgatory, King of Hell, Zoro, something like that. And so they get out of there, the Marines that went to go save Kobe, which wasn't a lot, it was like one ship, but Garp gets impaled by ice, and he's laughing, because he has the will of D. He is part of that clan. So the question, does he die? We don't know. After that scene, we have not seen him because of all the other stuff that's been happening in the manga. I do think we're going to know it by the end of the arc, like Luffy's reaction or something, because this is going to be a whole incident, like the Rocky Port incident, which is what made Kobe a hero. Personally, I feel like, so I'm going to have two answers. I'm going to have the Oda answer, I'm going to have my answer. My Oda answer is no, he's not dead, because how many characters, especially named characters, have died in One Piece? I'm pretty sure Wano was the first time, and even then it was kind of iffy, because the entire arc was technically, they were supposed to be dead and they're not. But my personal answer is, I also don't think he's dead, and that's just from a general writing perspective, because he's laughing, which is fine, but then nothing happened. Like, we don't see him dead, and we haven't seen him since. Like, that's just one of those things that you forgot happened in Egghead with this whole flashback. I remember I'm going to share a summary of Egghead, and it's just kind of not a good writing thing. Like, it's just like, oh, Garp's dead, and nobody realized, and then, we're going to go through all of Egghead with Saturn and all these characters, and then it's just going to be like, so we lost this guy, this happened, and now Garp's dead. Like, Sabo, Garp, like what? I just don't think he's dead, because that just doesn't make sense from a writing perspective. Now, Rex did ask a follow-up question to this. If you think he survived, what are your thoughts on them kidnapping him and using him for ransom? I think that makes total sense, because if you read, that's actually what they were holding Kobe for, was for ransom. But because he was part of Sword, which is all like a subsection of the Navy, which they get a little bit of funding, but then they don't get Navy support. And then if they want to go fight a Yonko without approval from the upper, like the higher ups, like the elders, they can just do it. But then that means the Navy can also say like, hey, we're not responsible for them. So, but then imagine this Yonko Blackbeard, which I think has some of the most influence, right? Because he controls Pirate Island, right? Because we look at, well, maybe Buggy. Buggy is still a confusing Yonko, but we look at the other one, Shanks. He has his influence, especially in the Navy, from the rat allegations and all this other stuff. But then you have Luffy, which, other than a few the islands that he's been to, in the grand scheme of things, he doesn't have a lot of influence. And I feel like Blackbeard might have some of the most, especially in the pirate world, kind of like everyone looked up to Whitebeard and respected him. I feel like everyone looks at Blackbeard as chaos and anarchy and kind of fear him, but with respect, right? Like he's powerful. So imagine a Yonko like that taking the hero of the Navy, Monkey D. Garp. And who knows? I can maybe see Blackbeard trying to execute him. I could see that and having a whole conflict with the Navy versus Blackbeard, and that's going to cause like this big tilt in power with the Navy and the main powers. Because now there's only two. There's the Yonkos and Navy because the 7 warlords are gone. So I think that's my thing. I think he's gonna take. I'm not sure about the execution. That's just a random guess, but I really do think he's gonna hold him and use him as a card, maybe as ransom to the government or just to the people, showing like what he can do. Like here I am. I am Blackbeard. 2 years ago, I didn't even have a bounty. Then I went to Warlord. Then I took Whitebeard's fruit after kidnapping Porky's the Ace, the second division commander, and now I have the hero of the village. Not hero of the village. This is not Naruto. Hero of the Navy. So he's quite literally controlling every possible faction other than the revolutionaries. He would be controlling the Navy. He'd have influence in the pirate world. Like he really would have full control, or at least influence in every current division in our world in the One Piece story right now. So that's my insight on does Garp die. Like I said, I'm going to be going in depth in a lot of these. So that's kind of what this is. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun. So that was his first question. So I'm going to keep it here because we learn a little bit more about Emu. And let me tell you, Emu's interesting. We still don't know who Emu is. There was a lot of lore that dropped in Egghead, and honestly, with how Egghead's been going, it's probably going to be my favorite arc, just for the amount of lore. Um, and hey, so the question: does Emu have a devil fruit? I feel like I gotta go into who Emu is a little bit and who the 5 elders are. So I'm gonna go with that. Who is Emu and who are the 5 elders? And maybe I'll be able to give some kind of insight on Emu's devil fruit. And I know me and Rex have talked about this in discussion. I'm gonna kind of go into that, Rex, of the species a little bit. Um, Yo, what's up, Volrek? Welcome to this stream. In case you don't know, this white means we are currently talking about the manga and, post anime stuff. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can come back later and see some more questions. But I'm going into the current question is who is Emu and the 5 emperors? And so, for people that don't know and want to know, Emu and the 5 emperors are the highest authority in the world government. You have 3 factions. You have the revolutionary, which oppose the world government, not specifically like the nobles and celestial dragons, not necessarily royalty, right? 2 different things, because like they like King Cobra. That's why they were mad at Sabo when allegations of Sabo killing King Cobra, because that's not who they're against and oppose, especially rulers like Cobra who are just. It's against the world government and their blinding. Um, oh, I like that. I'll talk about that, Rex, when I get there. So these are the highest authorities, and we've been seeing them for a long time. These 5 elders, not Emu, 5 elders. And then eventually we see, dude, this was crazy. We see Cobra wants to have a talk, Nefertari Cobra specifically, have a talk with the 5 elders. And then he goes in the throne room where the throne's empty, and they have swords stuck at the bottom of the staircase. And that's because it's supposed to be like there's no one single ruler. This is at the Reverie is where all the rulers of all the nations that are affiliated with the world government come together and talk and try to sort some things out. So he's in there, and then somebody goes sits on it. And this is the reveal of Emu, who is a very mysterious figure. Now, this is a proper introduction, but we actually do have an introduction before this as well, where the they think Sabo, who is there during this, right? Like, this is some weird timing, because all this is actually a backflash, right? Where Nefertari Cobra is talking with Emu and the 5 elders. So before this, we know that this Kingdom of Lelouchia, which is animated, right? This was during the first Egghead episode. The Kingdom of Lelouchia was obliterated by this weapon that we later learn is the Mother Flame, which was created by Vegapunk on Egghead. And a lot of theories about this weapon are around, including the fact that it is based off a ancient weapon, I think it's Uranus, I should say, Uranus. And so I'm not too sure, and that's a whole other question, which I'd be glad to go into if we want to. And dude, I can't with this. Don't move. Okay. We're gonna scooch it over a bit. And so that's really all we know about Emu. But then we also have the 5 elders, which we don't really know that much more, other than with these really demonic looking beast-like silhouettes of them when Sabo went to try to save Cobra. And that's a little bit more, but let me finish. I forgot. I'm gonna finish this flashback. Cobra eventually learns Emu and the name of Emu, right? Because nobody knows Emu exists except for these like 5 elders. And what's happening? Why does the time stop? Dang, I don't know. It's fine. So nobody knows who Emu is, and so we learn that Emu is actually part, or coincidentally, is part of the original nation, original rulers that formed the world government, the original 20. And we don't know much about the 5 elders and their origins. But what the theory is, and this idea, and what the story is alluding to, is that Emu was the founder of the world government or something, one of these first rulers, and her big enemy was Joy Boy, who is who Luffy is, the Gum Gum Fruit, right? So we don't know much about Emu, but we know that Saturn turned into this weird demonic being, right? There's 5 elders. And when he came out, he actually had 5 around him or something like that. So the theory is that they're devils, and including with what Sabo was saying, I didn't realize hell was the whole way up here or something like that. So the theory is they're devils. Now, me and Rex had this conversation that there's so many races out there. People are thinking that this is the devil fruit model. I don't know. There's so devil fruit. Rex asked, do you think that maybe it's from hockey, right? Almost like how Zoro's demon form Asura, maybe like when he gets his extra attacks, maybe that's like his will itself, right? Because that's kind of what it sounded like. Is that his own spirit? That's what Kaku said, the giraffe, in its lobby. So here's what the idea is. Could it be a devil fruit, or what I think is more likely is I have 2 different theories on why they're alive. One, they had a right, because it's super old. Maybe it was before the time of devil fruits, and maybe her enemy Joy Boy reincarnated into the Nika fruit, right? Like maybe We don't know. I think that's one thing. And so what happened was either they created, or this is really early, and they took control of the Nomi, Law's fruit, and had the surgery done on them. And what they did was they took a slave, had the surgery, the slave sacrificed his life, took another slave, fed it to him, and kind of took control because it was smaller, right? They had more control. I don't know. We don't know how devil fruits work. So maybe the devil fruits were only on one island and then eventually spread throughout the seas. So I think that's one possibility. The other possibility is, what species are they? We just learned about the Buccaneers, which is Kuma's race, and then also we had Lunarians, who are now who made the Seraphim, and that's who King was, and we thought they were extinct. But we also had this ancient kingdom, and we had that race, which made the giant robot on Egghead. But then also we had the species that Ors was. Like, we had all these species that we know for a fact. Who knows what other species that were somewhat referenced? So what if there was just a demon race, like a devil race? And that's who these are. Like, they have a form that they can turn into, like a human form or something that they train, almost like a ninjutsu. Uh, so his true form is this demon form, and he just hides in his human form. Um, I think that's my theory, is that he is the five elders and Emu. So like, what if these are the five devils, like almost like the seven sins, and then you have Satan, like the head king, Beelzebub, all these Antichrist, all these different like names. What if that's who Emu is? Right, like it's very it would fit so well with the story too, that the rulers of the world are the most corrupt, because we already think the world government is corrupt with the celestial dragons. So if the celestial dragons feel like they're gods, imagine if they're actually devils. Like, I feel like that would be such a good, like, story idea. Yeah, so so Rex said, assuming Vegapunk's theory, if devil fruits are products of imagination and will, and that's kind of what I was thinking, right? Like, what if the Nika fruit was from that? Uh, and I think another cool thing to think about with the devil fruits is we have the celestial dragons who are gods and all this, but then devil fruits, right? Devils, like, that is from episode one. The gum gum fruit, the fruit of the devil, the sea, like, etc., etc. So wouldn't that also make sense? Like, from that point, like, the fact that devils are a thing. So that's a whole other thing to be thinking about. And then Voltec said, the devils who won't be allowed on Laughtail. That's why devil fruit users get sick. It would make so much sense from a writing perspective too. Exactly. Like, if they don't like the sea, what if they can't be on Laughtail? And that's why they haven't claimed the One Piece yet, because they quite literally are devils. Like, it's, who knows? Like, maybe each of these wills, right? Like, or elements, like the element of fire, the element of smoke, the like candy. What if that was combined with somebody of their original race, the devil race? And like, that will was put on, and then they keep like getting reincarnated. Like, what if the devils can reincarnate? But these are the original devils or higher demons or something like that. And that's why they're still around. They didn't have their will formed with a fruit or this other thing, because who knows what devil fruits are. They had it bound to themselves, and they reincarnate themselves, maybe, or like they can just live eternally, since they don't have that sacrifice. Maybe they're forced to do that. Maybe these people, who knows? There's a lot to know, but I really do think the idea of devils is my top theory on who Emu is, and the five elders. I think it is a whole other race from long before 800 years. I think it could be like a millennia ago, like 1,000 years, like even before the Void Century, right, leading up to. So I think it is a long time ago. So that's my answer to who Emu is. um, let's see. Next question. So I'm gonna switch it to Wano. Um, here it is. Here it is. Wano is pink. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Ere also had a question of can Luffy activate Gear 5 when he wants, or was that time just a fluke? Now I'm gonna say Wano, but I will say that obviously, especially the opening for Egghead. So this is anime. Um Luffy comes back in Gear 5, but was the first time a fluke? That's a great question. Um like it's just I think it's almost like an alignment of will, right? Like Kaido needed to be proven wrong that he was not Joy Boy. So what if that their story, their all this like parallels with that the road poneglyph. That's also where a ancient weapon is in Wano. We have Momonosuke from 20 years ago. We had all these characters from time before. So does that lead to Gear 5, or Gear 5 was just like, oh, I'm Joy Boy, it's done. Because Luffy didn't know, but then Luffy can use it again. And I really don't think we haven't seen him talk about his power. So I don't think Luffy knows that he's Nika yet. But clearly Vegapunk thinks so, and some other characters. So we're gonna actually put it to white. Because I'm gonna talk about Kuma also knew. Um, so again, it's white. So we're going into manga. Kuma and Vegapunk both know Luffy was, or Kuma thought Luffy was Nika. He was the highest chance of being Nika, and Vegapunk really believes that, probably from Kuma and then seeing the picture and all that kind of stuff. So was it by accident or was it by fate? I think the way we see it right now, it was by accident. But I think what we're going to learn by the end of it is it was by fate. I think it's going to be some kind of story, some parallel with Joy Boy and Emu is happening right now with Luffy and Blackbeard and Emu and all these other characters from now, just like back then. We just don't know that yet. So that's my theory. I think the way we perceive it right now is by accident, but I think long term we're going to learn some more details, and I think we're going to see that it was actually on purpose. Year 5, like it was fate, like it had to be during this battle or something. You know, kind of like how um, Ryuma cut a dragon. Right now, Zoro has to cut a dragon because he has a lot of parallels with Ryuma. So yeah, and Voltec brought up a good point. If the devil fruit does take on the ability of your will, what if that will, right? We see Nami going crazy. What if Nami's hope and dreams and words to Luffy are what drove him to awaken, right? Like maybe it was Nami, and all everyone's wills and wishes. We see that like as he's passing like victory, and as he's constantly getting defeated, all these people looking up to him, the samurai, the people of Wano, but even other nations like Dressrosa, right? Like that was partially dominated because of Kaido and the Smout. Like there's just all these people and all their will just kind of went into it. Maybe Gear 5 was a spirit bomb. Like maybe all these people's hopes and dreams went into Luffy, which allowed him to awaken in that final death. I think that could be a really cool possibility, and I really do think we're gonna learn more about that later on. So good thing I added yellow. We're gonna go to yellow. So that means we're gonna go end of story slash post story. And Ere asked, when will One Piece end? Hmm. When will One Piece end? That's a great question. Never. I hope. I'm just kidding. We all know it's gonna end. It's gonna have to end, right? That's just kind of how story goes. But so I want to talk about how the next arc. We don't even know. I know it's said to be Egghead, and Oda said it'd be hard to have Luffy not want to go there, but I think he's gonna go there still. I'm just kidding. I maybe not. It could be Egghead because that's where not Egghead. That could be Elbaf, right? That's where Usopp would get a power up, and that's where Luffy wants to go. You know, Land of Giants. We see him cheering. But what if instead? Dang, my microphone's dying. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna plug in this other one, and then I can just unplug. We're going crazy here. So what if what was I saying? What was I saying? So I think there could be a small arc, or we go to Elbaf. Let's go with Elbaf because that's obviously a likely answer. But I really don't think we're going to Elbaf. I think there's going to be another mystery island. I do think we're going to go to Elbaf by the end, but I don't think it's going to be the next island. Even if it's only for like a small arc. Like I'm talking, we finish up by May and Egghead. The rest of the year's on this, and then next year we're going to Elbaf. Not a long arc, like 10, 15 chapters. But I'm thinking, so right, that goes. Let's go with. We're gonna go with Elbaf though. We're gonna finish Egghead by midpoint of the year, right? So May, June, July, something like that. Then we get to Elbaf. Elbaf, I feel like it's gonna have to be a long arc, whether that be with Shanks, whether that be training, something like that. And I could see Elbaf not being 4 years, but being longer than we're back. I could see. I don't know how long you couldn't hear me. That's unfortunate. I could see it going to like 2020. I mean 2034. Right. I think I could see this arc finishing this year. Egghead going for. I mean Elbaf going for 2 years. Mystery arc. So that'd be 2027. Uh, El, Laugh Tale would go to 2030, and then 2033/34 with final arc finishing up Laugh Tale and maybe some post story fun. So my guess will be by 2035. So 11 years, which is still so much more. That'd be a 35, 36-year-old story, almost 4 decades. I don't know. Does One Piece really have another decade? Saying that sounds wrong, but I just don't see, especially with Oda's schedule, right? This does not mean we're getting like 50 chapters a week. This is with how last year went with the live action, with the remake, with monsters, all these other like things that Oda's doing. I just don't see him having enough time to have a full 30, 40, 50 chapters. We got like 20 to 30 chapters last year. So with that pacing, I think like 10 years, which is still crazy, but I just don't see Wano being 4 years, Egghead being a year and a half, but then, having the final war, the battle royale that Oda himself has confirmed, like there will be a battle royale, which might be the final war. And and Laugh Tale and figuring out what the One Piece is, I don't see that happening anything like around 5 years with Elbaf and learning all this. Like I just don't see that unless we're getting every single arc will be just here will be flashbacks and just pure lore like Egghead. I think Egghead is just because it is science and history related. That's why we're getting so much. I just don't see that being permanent though. So that's my thoughts. On when One Piece will end. Very curious. And I'm all for how long it goes, but I also hope Oda takes some him time. Right? I'm okay if he takes a month off. I'm okay. He needs like surgery, some time with his family, do some stuff, recover. Don't get burnt out because without Oda, One Piece ain't gonna finish. We can get an ending, but it won't be One Piece. One Piece will end when Oda stops writing it. So whether it continues or something else, Oda is the heart of One Piece. Uh, I mean, Oda planned for the whole story to end in 5 years, and here we are, almost 25 years later. So yes, Oda has very much added more, and I do agree. For people watching later or not reading chat, uh, Voltrex said like Oda's just grown so attached to these characters. So yeah, it's kind of hard also just to see. That's another reason why like I just don't see him ending One Piece just throwing all this lore out there. He has to take some time and really give it to us, whether that be in multiple flashbacks or the future or something, and then the present time is the flashback, like something. So it'd be interesting to see. There's so many questions that we very much need answered, along with the main story that's still going to continue. Like, yeah, no, I'm really excited and interested to see how it goes. So that anyone in chat else have a question, or is there a topic that you want me to just ramble on about? Because there's so much to One Piece. It's great. Bro, he's going crazy. Dude, there's just so much One Piece information. Like, you have the history, you have the power system. Let me double check. Is there any questions that are thrown in? Even though that looks like all the questions we have so far. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read a nice little synopsis of that I did of all the major points of Egghead. So if you do not want to know or you're not caught up on Egghead, spoilers. But if you are caught up, and because the reason I did this was just there's so much that happened in Egghead, and especially since the Kuma backstory, I kind of forgot just how much there was. I was saying like, yo, remember this is like a what's it called? What did I say? We're gonna be seeing like uh Luffy and Zoro's when Usopp and Robin went like crazy face. We're gonna be seeing Luffy and Zoro do that. There's like the exploring the lab, and then we also have this mystery. And so I'm like, how much is there? So I'm reading this. This will be quite literally every major point that we have so far. So I'm just gonna read this, and I can go into depth, and maybe this can add some more questions. All right. All the things to look forward to in the Egghead arc of One Piece starts off with the explanation of the Void Century, the introduction that Saul is alive, the fact that Vegapunk and Dragon both were on Otora, learn Kuma is Bonnie's dad, CP0 invade and uh, camera go down from inside, causing a whole whodunit. We get to see Zoro wake up from a nap to stop the government Usopp Kaku. Then we learn the clone of Stutzy, who is one of these people, is actually. Oh, I'll talk about Kid in a second. We learn that Stutzy, one of these CP0 agents, is actually a clone of a Rocks pirate. I cannot wait to learn more about that. And that's also not Edward, Weevil Newgate's mom, I think. It's kind of weird. Vega 1 dies. York wants to be a celestial dragon and is against us. That's who done it. And she wants to do it from a celestial dragon and killed Vega 1. We will have already seen Law versus Blackbeard. We have already seen Weevil save Whitebeard's home. We will see Elbaf and all old giants, and Kid getting destroyed by Divine Departure. So I'm also trying to list all the attacks. And yeah, Kid be kind of crazy. We'll talk about Kid in a second. We'll then see Galaxy Impact from Garp going to save Kobe in the flashback of Blackbeard and Kuzan. We learn of the man marked by flame. So we know that's what they said originally in Wano, and we actually learn about more about that and how this idea was before, right, in this flashback of Kuzan and Blackbeard joining together. And that's really interesting, and I'm really excited to see who that is. And I have a theory that I kind of saw while watching the anime and watching some clips. Um, Marked by Flames. Oh, Crossfield gets some screen time, and after a Shanks and Buggy flashback, so like Buggy remembering Shanks and messing around with Shanks, they're going to get the One Piece. So everyone's going to get it right now. Then we have a flashback to the day with Sabo, where you see the admirals fight. Even with the leaders of Revolutionary, CP9 make its entrance. So all the old guys like Bluno, the Cobra family history. So we learned that they are actually like one of the founding. Lily created this huge sin, and they're actually part of the D tribe, which is crazy. Shirahoshi is taken by the dragons, the princess, the mermaid princess. Charlos gets squashed to death, which is crazy by a few people. There goes my thing. Which is so great. The reveal of lore and Lily, so much like lore there with Emu. Kobe honesty impact, we get to see that. Garp laughing in defeat, so that will of D, right? Like in death, they're gonna be laughing and goofing off. Garp is laughing. Strawhat say F you and capture York, aka Celestial Dragon. So they full on capture Celestial Dragon, and York stands so much like it just goes from like yeah, guys, come help me, and then it's just all of them like, heh heh, loser. Ussops holding a snail phone. Like, it's great. Luffy senses the admiral, right? It's like, yo, somebody's coming. Sentomaru flashback. So we learn a little bit more about Sentomaru, Axe Boy, and how Kizaru actually saved him, which is crazy. And then we get Luffy versus Kizaru with a lot of parallels to Sabaody and a lot of idea that Sabaody and like Egghead is Sabaody 2.0 or reverse Sabaody, like something like that. Kuma at the home of the dragons, so he goes to Mirajra. Giant robot is giant Luffy, right? Like just absolutely destroying Kizaru. Robot activated. Saturn revealed all the way back on October 8th. That's right. October, November, December, January. It has been 4 months since the reveal of Saturn. That's why I wanted to do this. And there's just so much that happened in this arc. Because so Saturn was revealed way back. Then after this, we start the Kuma backstory, which I didn't reread because I was not ready, emotionally ready for that. And we introduced to God Valley, and we have been there from chapter 1095 and on to 1103, which is actually going back to the current story on Egghead. So that is quite literally only 8 chapters of the Kuma backstory. That's crazy that it's only 8 chapters. And there's just so much emotion that has happened throughout these last few weeks. And the fact that we've been there since October practically. So that's Egghead. That's the stuff to look forward to. And let me tell you, it is hype. It is hype. I am looking forward to these named attacks. I'm looking forward to all the bits and pieces of Egghead. And I think there's so much more that we can be seeing. And again, that is just what we currently have as of 1103, chapter 1103. So, oh, I got a notification. Is it spoilers? Nope, it's an episode release. What episode just released? One of those. Looks like it's a card anime. That's pretty cool. It's episode 1. So, we can go into depth a little bit about that, but I think that's a good summary. Like, that's all the points of Egghead. Like, that is quite literally everything. There's not something missing from that. Because I literally read it in one day. I read all of Egghead in one day, except for the Kuma backstory, which I think we know plenty about, and I'm not going to go into. And like I said, I was not emotionally stable, and I'm still not emotionally stable. I really don't want to have to deal with that. I can't believe we get to do this week to week. I was so excited. I'm also really excited because now that I'm caught up on Wano, I feel like so many people got caught up during Wano for Gear 5, but even before that, just because it was such a cool arc and just more people were watching. And then now with the live action, more people are watching. It's just really cool because now I get to start the new arc. I've already read the manga. I'm going to be buying the manga volumes as they come out because there's no Egghead Island arc manga volume yet. It only goes up to volume 104, which only goes to chapter 1051. And that's like end of Wano, right? So I feel like the first volume is going to be like all the transition stuff that we've been happening in the anime. So the anime is actually there before the volumes, which is crazy. And then we also need some updates on like that one unfinished chapter that's going to be finished for the volume release. But I'm here every week watching live. Like I've been watching live from the start of the arc. Brand new opening was hype. You can see my reaction. Not you don't get to watch it, but I did react. I'm going to be doing that weekly. Reading chapters. I might read the chapters weekly. Obviously, that's not going to be scheduled because I'm just going to do it when the scans come out. But yeah, it's what a time to be a One Piece fan. Because then we have our remake this year or next year, maybe the year after. We have live action news. Definitely by the end of the year, we're going to get some live action news on season 2 of One Piece live action. And then later this month, I'm definitely going to be reacting to the Monsters one shot. It is a what Monsters is a one shot from Oda, and we get to now. It's not going to be an anime series or a movie. It is a single 20 to 30 minute episode. Might be a little longer than normal. Let's go back. It is. I want to find the name of it. There's news. We got One Piece creator Eiichiro Oda, new anime Monsters 103 Mercy's Dragon Damnation arrives on Netflix January 21st. Which it's also funny to look at the comments of that and being like, why isn't Luffy's final attack? And I'm like, bro does not understand who Ryuma is at all. That's just wild. So yes, that is there's many reasons, uh, including and then I believe we're gonna have to wait to see because this looks a little different than Monsters, but I know Monsters I'm pretty sure is canon. Ryuma is canon, but then he's also a cowboy, so maybe this will be a prequel canon. This isn't like just some filler. This isn't just some random thing. This is canon One Piece content that will be happening in this movie. So keep an eye out for that. I'm probably gonna be doing the weekend reaction. I'll probably be doing that for that. So, old track. Kid lost his plot armor. Dude, kid got destroyed. He's like he got absolutely bamboozled, and it's hilarious. You can barely see me now. I'm gonna have to fix this for tomorrow. I'll make sure I do that. But yeah, kid got destroyed for sure. I think I still have 2 hours. Let me double check. Yeah. All right, we're good. We're good, dude. I can't wait to see this kid get actually destroyed with this egghead animation. But then we also do get to see Law versus Blackbeard. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna definitely throw some power scaling people through for a loop. But then Kobe, we also see Garp fighting. There's so many different attacks and fights we get to see during Egghead. There's a lot of losses. Like Kobe gets back up, Sabo gets back up, but then Law. But then another thing with Law, and here's a theory that I'm gonna throw out there if you're interested, is we see that Beppo gets a awakened Sulong form without the full moon. Like he force awakens. And here's a theory that I saw. Blackbeard was on Drum Island. He wanted a devil fruit, most likely. We don't know if it was specifically a devil fruit, but he rampaged and was looking for something. What if it was Chopper's fruit? And you're probably asking, why does a human want a human fruit? One, maybe Blackbeard isn't human. We don't know who he is. But I think my theory is Chopper is a mythical Zoan. And this is not me originally. This is just like my theory combined with a whole bunch. Because I watch so many theory videos, and some I agree with, some I don't. And this one I do agree with. What if Chopper has different forms, just like Luffy's gears? Then you have his awakened form, Gear 5, Nika. But then you also have Chopper's monster point, and you have to use a rumble ball. What if that is him force awakening, like semi awakening his fruit to give him monster point, and that is his awakened form, like he's some mythical deer or beast or giant, and he just doesn't know it because he was an animal and he could not read and sense his power because he only got that intelligence after the fruit, and we don't know how that works. But because we also don't know exactly how combining devil fruits with inanimate objects. If we gave the gum gum fruit to a sword, is there a chance the gum gum fruit can awaken? And the reason I say that is because we know that there's the idea that he could not He could make other types of devil fruits other than Zoan, but they can't awaken. So if he put a copy of the gum gum fruit, it wouldn't awaken, but it would be stretchy. But if he put the actual gum gum fruit in, could it awaken? And if it does that sword know that it's Nika? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. Because we just don't know enough about devil fruits. And I do think we're gonna learn it, but yep. I think Chopper's a mythical Zoan. And the other idea and like evidence towards that I've seen a lot of people talk about, like with questioning Chopper, not necessarily to the fact that he's mythical Zoan and this and that, but the fact that he is a human, and the human fruits are only the mythical Zoan. The other ones are cat fruit, model leopard, something like that. The only human are Nika, and Buddha, and I think there's another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's also weird, right? Like, it's just interesting. Voltex asked me thinking the Sunny gaining the devil fruit ability. So one, I don't know how that would work with not the practicality of the ship, but the practicality that it's a ship, so it's in water. So would it be able to fully use its devil fruit ability? That's my question. Not the fact that it's a ship. Like, if it was a huge tank, I could see that. But the fact that it is quite literally in the water 24/7, I'm just not sure. But that does bring another theory of, are the Straw Hats done, or are they getting one more member? And this question comes from Luffy at the beginning said 10 crew members. Does he count himself? Because if he's counting himself, then we're done. We are getting our 10, and the chances of getting someone else are very slim. We have the captain, we have our vice captain, Zoro, and the swordsman. Then we have our cook, we have our liar, sniper, we have our navigator. Then we have our musician, our doctor, helmsman, shipwright. Who else is there? Oh, an archaeologist. So that's that. And then we actually know that they have like numbers, and there's some like pattern to this. So the pattern actually perfectly aligns with each devil fruit of crew. Like, it's 1 and 10, 2 and 8, 3 and 9, like something like all the numbers add up. But there's 2 numbers missing, and those numbers add up to the paw fruit. Now, what are we missing in this? Like we even have an archaeologist and musician that is not required for a pirate crew. Pirate crew needs, your captain, your helmsman, maybe your navigator, and your cook, but not all this other stuff like an archaeologist. So if we're going with that, do you know what could be great? Is someone who knows politics. And who knows politics? Vivi. Now, I've been thinking this for a hot minute, for a while, since before Egghead really took off. Not gonna lie. I really did think Vivi was gonna come back and join over Yamato, I should say. Like, when people are thinking Yamato is gonna join, I'm like, I think Vivi will join. Because there's just more of a connection, right? Because most of the people don't even know who Yamato is of the Straw Hats, where all the Straw Hats bonded that were present during Alabasta with Vivi. So here's the other thing. Vivi would join the crew, and she would get Kuma's devil fruit, which sounds wrong, right? But if you really look at it, who is Vivi? Lily. Nefertari D. Lily. Now, here's the question. We believe that she was able to get the poneglyphs out, right? Like, she did some kind of great sin. What if Vivi pulls a Lily, takes the paw fruit, which would have then aligned with the numbers of the devil fruits, get our 10 crewmates apart from Luffy, and then help save her kingdom by destroying the people that killed her father. Now, I think it was Rex who said, time-wise, right? Like, she has to rule a nation. You gotta realize how short One Piece is in world. If we take away the 2 years of time skip, it's like less than a year. It's like 9 months. Remember, all the Dressrosa was like 1 day. The raid of Onigashima was 1 night. All of pre-time skip was like 6 months. Like if we look at day 1 to water 7 and we look at their moon phases, and if we're trying to make it somewhat relatable to our world, it was 1 moon phase. That's 28 days. Like it's 1 cycle. 28 days. It's not a lot of time from Luffy not doing anything to Luffy being a pirate to Luffy beating uh who did he defeat? Axan Morgan, Buggy, Alvita. Then he also beat Kuro. Then he beat Don Krieg. Then he beat. I'm missing someone else in here. Don Krieg, Arlong. Who else was in here? Why am I having such a brain fart? Sanji, Arlong. Not Smoke. I'm thinking like East Blue. I feel like I'm missing another villain, but I don't know. Maybe it was Buggy or Kuro. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Oh well. So then Smoker. So he beat a cap. He left a captain. And then we're gonna go into beating a Warlord of the Sea crocodile. But we're not done yet because then we're gonna beat God and Nell. Then we're going to Water 7 and make havoc, fight CP9, and then break into Enna's lobby and save Robin and break out like the first person ever, surviving a Buster Call for the second time, by the way, Robin. Luffy beating Lucci, which has never been done before, all in 6 months. And and that idea of that time also shows why the government wasn't so cautious about them and why they didn't even know who Luffy was. Because at that time, it has been a month, and this man has defeated everything. And that also shows the prevalence of Luffy getting a 30 million bounty. And then by this point, right, at his lobby, a month in, Zoro also has a bounty of 60 million. Which, by the way, I don't see a lot of people talk about. I know the crew was already formed, and we talk about starting bounties and Luffy getting 30 million, and he's the first of the crew. But then, like, 60 million? Robin got 79 million. 60 million's a lot. And we know how much the government wants Robin. So, like, all within a month, this is happening? Like, that's just Luffy. Imagine what everyone else is doing. Like, Zoro cut metal, he beat, like, dude, there's just so much that happens in world in such a little bit amount of time. So, the reason I'm saying this is we're going back to Vivi being a Straw Hat. In reality, like, all of post time skip has been like a month. Maybe 2, depending on how long Wano was. But even then, are we really thinking Luffy's about to survive? I have 2 reasons. One, just because of the current time frame, right? It's going fast pace. But the other thing is, Luffy keeps using up so much life force with Gear 5, with Gear 2nd and 3rd, shortening his life force this over and over. And I can only see him unlocking almost like Mastered Ultra Instinct like Goku, like Mastered Gear 5, which might drain his stamina and life force even more, which might get some extra power up, like more freedom, because it's not just the rubber, he can do more stuff. So that's gonna happen. He's gonna die. So are we really thinking like Luffy's about to survive another 10 years? Or he's probably gonna die by the end of the story, whether from old age like Roger or execution. And in that time, I can honestly only see the rest of the story taking like 3 to 6 months. I think the story in world will take 6 months. So I think Alabasta, when left to Pell and Kaku, not Kaku, Kaku, the bird, the Supersonic Duck Squadron, and all those people, I could see Alabasta being confined for like 3 to 6 months. And by that time, Luffy will have toppered the world government. So I think Vivi will join, get the pawpaw fruit, not Bonnie, not Yamato. She'll be the politician, which will help when defeating the world government, by the way, because we don't need another powerhouse. We just got Jinbei. Zoro's king of hell. Sanji just got his body like armor thing. And Luffy is a god. Do they really need that much help? And then maybe Usopp's gonna get some crazy power up, but then Nami's everyone else is gonna get a power up because Usopp will always be the weakest, confirmed by Oda in an SBS question. So I think Vivi's gonna join, and when she gets the pawpaw fruit, that would make and I think she would need that, or else she would be weaker than Usopp. Maybe depends. Um, Now I'm gonna quickly mention something from like the live action that I see people complain about is how good Nami was fighting in the opening. And you got to remember, she has been a pirate for like 10 years. She's been under Arlong's control and robbing and raiding cruise ships and pirate ships and stuff like that, swindling them. She has had to have picked up some kind of combat skill, and that goes for Vivi too. She was uh, Miss Wednesday. Her partner was Mr. Nine Ikram. I think he was Mr. Nine. So she had to have been fighting, and this was for like 1 or 2 years. So she has some kind of combat experience, and obviously, with the crew, who knows how much she improved? Because we know just how fast people can improve in this world. So, like, they know how to fight. She knows. So, and I think because she's so much more confident, she is quite literally running at Crocodile. I think that's what's going to make her stronger than Usopp, like obviously physically, but the fact that she does not have that coward in her, which I'm not saying is a good or bad thing, um, but that's a fact, and I think that really does change the dynamic of these characters. I am tired. So what else do we want to talk about? I'm gonna have so much fun going back to this hour and a half and trying to take down all the questions. That's why I'm trying to vividly state the questions so it's easier for me when I go back in to have a comment, a topic, or a question for the timestamps. Dude, I love that I got my Wano poster up. We got Chopper, Iman, Luffy, Nami, Robin, Usopp, Sanji, Zoro, Brook, Frankie. Then we got Carrot, Law, Pepper, Raizo, Kinemon, Momonosuke, not Kaku, Kiku? Is that the girl? And then Kandro. Yes, I know the names. I'm a nerd. I'm a One Piece nerd. And I'm all for it. Yo, that is a great question. All right, here's where we're gonna go. We're gonna go. This is gonna talk about pre-time skip because I want to change the color because it's kind of had a point, but we've only been talking about posts because this is if you had a question and you want to get into it as well. So we're switching it to green, which is pre-time skip. And the question is Giraffe Fruit Solo's verse. The giraffe fruit from Menace Lobby is what Kaku uses, and also known as Government Usopp. Which, by the way, Luffy still thinks he's Usopp and Egghead, which is so funny. And I think that's a whole other topic, honestly, which is also Enies Lobby, is the talk of the loyalty of Usopp. There's another thing that happens later, and I'm not going to mention it. It's just there. The question of his loyalty. And yes, Voltrek, I did turn your meme question into a proper topic because I am just goaded like that because I am cracked at the One Piece knowledge and talk. Uh, he, it's the question of loyalty of Usopp, and it kind of scares me that the whole way in Egghead, so many real life years, but everything, Luffy still thinks he's Usopp. So what does that mean? Because we look at Dressrosa, um, which yeah, I figured we're gonna be going over because it's all over the place. So Dressrosa, I think we're not gonna mention Egghead all too much. So Dressrosa, that's gonna be red for time skip. So Dressrosa is we see, and I wish people talk about this more. Luffy trusts his crew and respects his crew because when he had to go get Ace's fruit, the Marimarinomi, I want to say is what the flame fruit is in One Piece. The Marimarinomi. He's like, I can't take it. Frankie, do you want it? Now Frankie obviously declines because Luffy should have it, and he also does not want a double fruit. But he instantly was like, Frankie, take it. Someone from the crew. So he trusts Frankie a lot. But what does that mean about Luffy and Usopp if he still can't tell the difference? Like, I know Luffy's slow, but is this a joke? Is this like is Luffy pulling our leg as the viewer? Is he trying to annoy them on purpose, or is he like, I know he's slow, but we know he has some decent battle IQ and other stuff. Like, can he really be this stupid? And would this make Luffy the stupidest MC in all of Shonen as well as the greatest? Like, I think it's really a question of like Luffy's trust. Does Luffy trust Usopp? Because the other thing is Usopp runs away. Let's look at what he's done other than Dressrosa. Dressrosa, he did make an excellent shot, but then Usopp is left, one of the only two crew members to do that. Usopp left, and another character later on. So Usopp left. And up until, let's see, what, this is before Wano, so we could talk up through Zoe. He didn't beat anyone, really. And, well, I guess he did beat Mr. 4, Mr. 3, and Miss Merry Christmas in Alabasta. And Skypiea, which I'm watching right now, like, he did kind of help, but he kind of just goofed off more and didn't really do that much. Skypiea into Water 7, where he didn't do anything because it was Sniper King. Now, obviously, we do know he had some great shots, but it's Sniper King. So Usopp himself, and this is for Luffy, by the way, like Luffy looking. So Luffy does not realize that Usopp and Sniper King are the same person. So Sniper King did some stuff. Usopp did not. Usopp then did come back, and then we're going from Water 7. Where are we going from Water 7? Is this Thriller Bark, which he used the 10-ton hammer against someone, but again, nothing too like solo Usopp feat. Then we're going from Thriller Bark to. Did we really go to Saba Odi next? Guess we're going Saba Odi, where again, he doesn't do anything. Then comes back post time skip because no one did anything in Marineford except for Luffy. He did get a little bit stronger, but still running like a coward. Who did he beat? Did he beat anyone? No, he was just in the mech that Frankie built. Then to Punk Hazard, which I gotta really, I can't wait to reread to get to that in the manga because Punk Hazard I really do forget. I know some lore bits, but what did he do? Was he part of the people that got switched? But anyway, so that's Punk Hazard. Then the big thing is Dressrosa, where he did have that one good shot. But again, does Luffy even know about that? Whereas Zoro was on top and was fighting with like different emperors, and we had the Hoey in like episode like 2 defeating Morgan while while Luffy saves Kobe. So just in the eyes of Luffy, how much does he trust and know about Usopp versus the other Straw Hats, who quite literally have gotten his back? Like, I mean, Brook got a poneglyph. Was Luffy there for that? I forget if Luffy was there for that, but like, there's some stuff that Luffy definitely knows. But then Usopp just How much does he? How much has Usopp? Like, he's a friend, don't get me wrong, but like, should he be comparing him with Kaku? I don't know, because we know that trust is a big thing in One Piece. So, I mean, in the Straw Hat specifically, right? Like, we look at Zoro and all these other comments and sayings. So, it's a big question. Do we got any more question though? We definitely have time. So even if I just chill here for like 30 minutes, I'm just gonna keep finding more things to talk about. Whether that be topics or you ask a question or someone else joins. And again, it can be pre-time skip, this, that. Yeah, no, I definitely oh, that's a great question, Rex. Stupid. Okay. My notification was covering the comment. Four sword style goes crazy. Sus. Anyway, we're gonna go past that. Uh you're how do you say his name? Urouge. Urogue? Urog? Urogue? I want to say Urogue. Urogue. Um so I've not covered him, and that's a great question. So for the people that don't realize, up now in okay, we're gonna switch it because we're going to Ennis. We're gonna go to Manga Egghead. If I can switch the color, Urouge. Urouge. There we go. Oh, hold up. Got a Discord notification. What's popping in here? I think it's an episode release. Stupid freaking episode release. I'm thinking somebody's messaging me, but nah. It's just another episode release. So for people that don't realize, as of right now in the manga, we have now met with almost all of the worst generation. So the worst generation is Luffy. I think we've covered him enough. Zoro, I think we've covered him enough. Law, which he had all of Dressrosa and Doflamingo. That's a pretty big, much lot to cover with him. We had Kid in Wano as well, which we learned a little bit about, and I forget. I think it was an SBS. We did learn about his ship and some other history with him, and then he gets defeated in Egghead. Um, then we had who do we have? We had Drake, and we had Drake, Hawkins, and the music guy, which I'm absolutely blanking on his name and how to pronounce it, but the music guy, all worst generation, and we saw them all in Wano. Now in Egghead, we now have Bonnie, so we are only missing one of the worst generation, and the worst generation are the pirates that made it to Sabaody around the same time with large bounties and were well known. Because there's obviously other pirates, but not known. Um, yeah, Angel Guy. Urouge. I'm talking about the music guy. I forget his name, but Urouge, Angel Guy. He last time we saw him was like I just saw this. It was like chapter 739 or something like that. It was it was the introduction of Kaido when he jumped off the Sky Island. We haven't seen him since. And it's I think again, the confirmation that we will go to Elbath eventually, whether that be next arc or not. I think Elbath is where we're going to see him because I think he's not a giant. He's a sky person, and I think I'm trying to think with like the ancient weapons. Yeah, he might have been mentioned in Whole Cake. I definitely don't remember that, but If you say he did, he probably did. But like we haven't actually seen him, right? Like his picture has not been shown. So I think he's going to be in Elbaf. Now, what is he gonna do? I can't say because we don't know anything about him or Elbaf. I think if we start Elbaf with him, we'll learn something. Because let's look at Bonnie, right? Because she was just another random character. We know she could change her age, and she was on Mirror's Raw. So there was some crazy stuff happening with Bonnie, but we didn't really know anything. Now we know who she is, and feel really bad for her and her powers, and she's gonna fight, and you know Sanji's saving her. But let's look at like him. Like, how much do we know? We know he's a sky person based on his appearance. He's a worst generation. And that's really it. Like, because he wasn't part of that alliance with Hawkins and everyone. Hi again, Paul. He wasn't part of the alliance with Hawkins and uh Drake. Is he a priest? Okay. So he's a priest. That's all we know. I don't do we know anything else? Does anyone in chat like remember anything else? And since we're talking about the worst generation, I want to mention what Rex just said, which I did know this. Fun fact for those that don't know, the original worst generation was made as a last minute decision by Oda. So he can go anywhere because he needed something else, like some characters introduced at Saba Odi. So Oda made them in a week. Didn't know. I don't think anybody knew where he was going to go with them. Like I don't think he thought of Law's background. But there you go. And I do think weren't the warlords supposed to be like the Yonkers? Were warlords a last minute decision? I thought that was pretty early on decided. Maybe not as far as Dressrosa and Doflamingo and how much of a role they played, but I do think the idea of the warlords were there from much early on. Yeah, I think was it the Yonko? Maybe it was the Yonko. That was made later. I don't know, but yeah, the warlords weren't last minute. Maybe there were some plot points that were added last minute, but so yeah, he is just a priest and Skypian. So that's really interesting. A Skypian priest. Now, here's a question. Do you think he could have been a priest for a god, kind of like the divine priest? Because I'm at Skypiea right now, rewatching in the anime and in the manga. Do you think he was like a priest to a god, whether that be Godfall or or a Nell or something? Like obviously not a Nell or Eneru, however you want to pronounce it. But do you think he served a god? Like imagine he was like the head command during Godfall or the god before that. Do you think he served that god, like actually served, or do you think he just served like someone like Nika, right? Like a priest now, like not lost, but not a physical person that you look up to. It's like a concept, and that's who he's a priest to. I think that's a big question. Is if he is a priest and he's gonna have to play some kind of role, I think that'd be the most important question to answer with him. Is what religion does he follow? Because we know there's a lot of like Christian parallels and Kuma with his. We know it's not a Bible now, but like we know there's just like he's a priest, he's in a church, so and we also know like so many people look up and worship Nika. Obviously, not as much because you know the world government's trying to erase that character and that ideology because they want to rule everything. Yeah, no, I do think he'll be at Elbaf though, because again, just how many arcs we have. I think there's gonna have another mystery arc, but then he's not gonna be there at freaking Laugh And as of right now, why would he be there? Like unless he's actually part of the world government, he ain't gonna be in the last war. Like why are we fighting this guy? He means nothing to us in the story. Like he is not like Yonko. Like we're fighting Yonko and admirals and the five elders, the gorosei. Like, why is this guy here who has not been in the newspaper, not done anything, not been relevant, not helping anyone, not hurting anyone? Just he hasn't been relevant. So I think he's gonna be relevant in Elbaf. He's gonna help there with some kind of struggle, and then we're gonna go on to the following arcs. Which Rex, you can either go scroll back now or wait till the video's uploaded. And I did talk about some future arcs and when I think One Piece is gonna end. So there's that guy. Any other questions or comments that we wanna talk about? Because there's still so much. Click, 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 clack the mouse. I know, like it's crazy to think that how much I'm able to rant about this, and I'm still missing so much. We've been going for 2 hours. That's kind of crazy. Probably gonna get off around. Trying to turn it off around 7:30, so we still got an hour. Yeah, we got like 50 minutes still that I want to chat. Be able to. So what else do we got? Oh yeah, no, Tower of God. I gotta watch that. I really do. I'm watching a few anime right now, and I think after I finish them, like older anime, I'm watching the weeklies. I think once I finish that, I'll have to check out Tower of God, especially with Solo Leveling come out right now. Tower of God season 2 is coming out this year. I know that. Is it this? I don't think it's this season. I'm not sure. Pretty swag if it was. I actually want to take a quick second and check what my phone percentage is at. It doesn't say. We're fine. It was at like 80%, so I don't think it's gonna die from streaming. I should totally like tape a string or something like right here. Tape it to my headset where I put it on, but like right here. Lol. That'd be wild. I'm trying to think what other stuff is big happening, because this is a Q&A. Like you can ask me anything. It's mostly for like recap, right? Because so much stuff has happened in Egghead, and we're just getting to that final saga, right? I think after Wano, Egghead is the start of the final saga. We don't know what it's called yet because we don't have the volumes, like we don't have it separated. But we had our East Blue, then we had the Baroque Works, which included Little Garden, um, all of Alabasta, stuff like that. We had a Skypiea arc, and then Water 7, which included Water 7, but it also included Ennis Lobby, and then the Going Merry and everything like that. So I think a good thing to see, um, I'm excited to see is what maybe we might have to wait. Maybe that's why he's waiting. Maybe he's trying to decide, is this the final saga, or how much does he want to add for the final saga? And what are we going to call the final saga? Maybe that's why we don't have the first volume yet. In the comments, if you guys want to think, what do you guys think the final saga might be? Like, it might be called, right? Like we had Baroque Works, but then we had the Four Emperor, we had the New World, right? New World arc or saga. Then we had the Wano, and now we're on the last one. Yo, maybe we're gonna take a step aside. Oh my gosh! So I'm gonna switch it to yellow because this will be end of story, the final arc. So the boy Voltrex in the comments said Foxy arc may have some importance for Pirate Island, with the game where you steal the crew may just be the final battle. So he's talking about the Davy back fight. I swear, if Oda brings back the Wandering Long Island arc, the island, and the importance, and makes that important for the final arc, only Oda could pull an arc like that and make it important and bring parallels to that arc for the final arc fight. Like, oh my gosh, Oda could do it. Oda for sure could do that. I don't know if I want him to though. Bro just freaking steals freaking Sabo from the Revolution. you you take the sick. I don't freaking know. That'd be wild. That'd be wild. So I don't know much about the game, the Davy back fight, but I could totally see some importance with his crew and how it operates with Pirate Island. And we don't know much about Pirate Island as of right now. Bro, Dragon is not stealing Emu. Emu is not Luffy's mom. No, we are not going with this right now. I pulled some relevance when you said Giraffe solos, but I'm not about to pull up with the dragon. Emu is Luffy's mom. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm trying to think of the pirate. How much do we know about Pirate Island? I mean, it got destroyed in Egghead by Garp and Kobe. I'll bring that point up in a second because I need to know. We need to talk about that. So, and the Davy back fights, which by the way came back in in the movies. So like Davy back fights could totally mean more, and we don't realize, or be a parallel or something like that, because we really didn't think much when Luffy was going all around all around the fire. Rex, the final fight is not a Davy back fight. I swear to God, if it is, that might be one of the few times that Oda will take an L and people will criticize him. Like right now, everyone just like he will get burnt to a crisp on a steak in the middle of hell. But let's talk about a W. Let's talk about a huge W. Bon Clay will return. My boy Bon Chad. Bro, Bon Clay needs to return. Like ASAP. Like, where is Bon Clay? He ain't dead, is he? He best not be dead. He's in Impel Down. Alright. Hear me out. I'm thinking on the fly here. So let's talk about some cross guild, and I'm gonna pull some relevance. Cross guild. Cross guild currently has Crocodile, Mihawk, and Buggy, which are all huge bounties, by the way. Like Mihawk with like a 4 billion bounty or something crazy like that. Crocodile with almost 2 billion, and then we got crazy bounty for Buggy, not 5 billion yet. And here's what I think, because I also want Doflamingo to come back. So here's what I think. Doflamingo is going to be freed by Cross Guild. They're going to break him out for whatever reason. They're going to have another warlord. There'll be 3 warlords and an Emperor of the Sea. And Doflamingo, like, work with the government, fight against the government, because that's kind of what Cross Guild is. Now, Bon Clay. Doflamingo is like locked up. I don't know if he's in Impel Down, right? Because Impel Down is not very safe after Luffy went rampage on it. So unless he's there, maybe he's at Marine headquarters. Like, that's probably pretty safe, like right there, with all the people. So maybe that. But wherever it is, I think Bon Clay's probably there too, because he got trapped and freed Strawhats and all those prisoners and Ivankov and all these big shots and named characters from the different levels of Impel Down. What if when the they free Doflamingo, what if they save Bon Clay as well? And just like how Daz Bones joined with Crocodile, maybe Bon Clay will join Crocodile as well. And who knows? I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that. That he joins Cross Guild, he gets broken out, and then that's how he gets out. And then in a final fight, it's like, nah, he's gonna betray him because it's not really a pirate crew, right? It's kind of like an organization, like Baroque Works. So if he joins, it's like they're not gonna like distrust him, and he's already saved Luffy like multiple times. Let's be real. So I think they'd trust him. They'd welcome him. Um, Voltrek said maybe he's guarded by Emu. I'm gonna have to say a hard no. I don't think Bon Clay or the clone fruit is important enough to Emu to be guarded by him. I just that would be wild. And honestly, who knows what the clone fruit can do? Okay, so does every devil fruit has an awakening theoretically, right? And we had our Logia of, because I'm pretty sure Abel was a Logia. He definitely had some kind of awakening. What if the clone fruit can be awakened, and when you clone them, like when you look like them, you also take their powers, and he can then copy any devil fruit user. What if Bon Clay could actually be the goat like that, and just full on copy Blackbeard's power or Luffy's power? What if he's safe right now and already broke out with his clone ability, and then is currently training to awaken his fruit, and he's just gonna come back a full Giga Chad mixed with what's it called? Hormones from Ivankov. That'd be wild. That'd be wild. I'd love that though. I honestly think that's a somewhat valid theory though. Not gonna lie. I think that has such a high chance. Yeah, no, I know. Like you quite literally can talk. Me and Rex can attest to this. We have talked for hours and hours, trying like theorizing and debating and thinking about One Piece. And you very much can go, like we can both go for so long. And I've only reached the surface on this stream and more. And there's so much more. And like I'm constantly thinking about, like almost every day I see some kind of theory video, and it's like, yo, maybe that's true. Maybe it's true. Who knows? And I can't wait to see it. Like honestly, I'm loving the anime. I can't wait to see the animation. But honestly, at this point, I am more hype about the manga because I want to know the main story. I don't want to be re-seeing the story. Animation is crazy, but I want to really feel it, and I feel like the best way is the manga. So I am just vividly enjoying it so much right now. Every week, seeing the new chapter, this and that, like it's so hype. Do 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 do. Any other questions or theories we want to try to talk about? Because there do be a lot. Try to get our boy Owen in here. Just absolutely bamboozle him with the manga talk and spoilers. Force him into reading the manga. There is so many theories. It's not something easy to choose. We've talked about so much already too, and it's only been 2 hours, but there's so many other theories and characters and references and parallels. What could I possibly talk about? Hmm. What's three gunned? What? What do you, is this one of those Luffy? I mean, Zoro versus Sanji rap battles? Are you talking about the Blackbeard theory, like his three souls, whatever he does to get the multiple devil fruits? Yeah, we could talk about Blackbeard theory. Um, so it's still very much. We're gonna change it from yellow though, because this is not necessarily end of story. Um, make it white. So, for the people that don't know, Blackbeard is one of the Yonkos. He also has multiple devil fruit powers. He has the dark fruit, and then he also has the quake fruit, which is Whitebeard's. And that was a pretty big plot twist, right? Because nobody can take it another devil fruit. It started. I think it was mentioned before, but it was very clearly stated during Ennis Lobby. It's like when they got the devil fruits, keep that away from me, like my devil inside, which is kind of funny if maybe he does have a devil, right? That'd be his demon wolf thing. But the idea is Blackbeard has two devil fruits, and his teeth. I think he got a new tooth. He has the three beards. He has his Jolly Roger, which has three heads. So Blackbeard will probably get another devil fruit. Who knows what it is? And we know that he's still looking for it. We're still looking for devil fruits for two reasons. One, he's trying to get Boa Hancock's devil fruit. And two, the reason he's trying to look is either for himself or for his crew, because he wants his entire crew to have devil fruits. Uh, and I think that's going to be a really fun thing to see in these coming arcs. And in this arc is Devil Fruit versus Haki versus something else like Ninjutsu, because Kaido said Haki transcends all. But then, and I feel like the Straw Hats are pretty good. You have your smart fighters, quote unquote, like Nami and Usopp. You have your martial artists, which also are pretty good with Haki, like Jimbei And then you have like, or maybe Sanji and Zoro, and then you have your devil fruit users like Brook and um, dang, brain fart, Brook, Robin, Luffy. But then Luffy's like that main guy that can do both, you know, devil fruit and so he has currently two powers, and his entire crew has double fruit abilities. We don't know what their hockey abilities are, if any. We can assume that uh, Blackbeard has conquerors because he's a Yonko and you know doing crazy stuff. But who knows? And who knows if he even cares? Maybe he doesn't think he needs hockey because he wasn't fighting people like that. He hasn't really had any big fights yet. So there's two theories to how he has two powers that I know of. And I'm going to tell you the one that I don't believe in first and the one I do believe in second. The first one is he used his dark vortex. He uses his dark vortex and he absorbs his devil fruit inside and he's actually holding the power. So he doesn't actually eat it, but it's inside of his devil fruit. That's how he is able to have two powers. But then I don't know. Like, couldn't you theoretically could do that infinitely? Um, so that's the first theory, and I don't really believe that like that like scientific almost explanation. I think it is quite literally because he has three souls. Like you know, we see him being able to stay up all night. The idea that devil fruits are the will of their users. So does he have the will of a demon? Which he's already pretty dark. You know, he doesn't sleep. Which is what Buggy said. So maybe he can't sleep. And that makes him a demon, like inside. That's maybe he is a Hewid again. Maybe he is a demon. Maybe that's how he works. Kind of like how what was it? Uh Demons in Seven Deadly Sins have multiple hearts, or in uh Misfit of the Demon King Academy, they have like their cores, and the hero canon has multiple, and you have to break all of them. Maybe he has different souls because he's a different race. Maybe like the demons have different souls or something like that. And each of them take is consumed by devil fruit. So one soul is the darkness, one soul is the quake, and I think he's gonna get one more because of the three, and maybe that's how many he has, something like that. And I don't know what it would be. It you can I can also see saying that he's not going to get any more, right? Because it has currently he has light and darkness. Obviously not light, but he has white and black. Like you know, good and evil. The evil darkness and the good the quake, which is like Whitebeard, like different sides of the pirate world, right? Because you have your family and then you have fear and ruled, kind of like I talked about earlier. So who knows? I do think he's going to get a third one, but there's nothing to confirm. He could be looking for a mythical Zoan for himself, or he could just be looking for more than just his Titanic captains. Like he has his 10 Titanic captains, but we also know there's like other people under those guys. So maybe because he's a Commodore, right? It's Commodore Blackbeard. So maybe there's more people he's trying to get devil fruits. Because imagine his entire crew, but instead of having smile fruits, have actual devil fruits. Like imagine like an entire like 100-person army of like proper devil fruit users. That would go insane, and that would be a force to be reckoned with. Now, he asked, Voltrek asked in the chat, could he cancel it out, Luffy's dark with the dark fruit? Um, Luffy's hockey. I'm gonna go with his hockey and devil fruit. Well, there's devil fruit. Again, it's hard because Luffy what is like it's a Zoan type, right? It's an awakened Zoan type. So we know he can take in like the flames and stuff, but you can't take in an animal, right? Because that's the only other zones that we've really seen. Like maybe he can do so he can't like be free on the ground, but he's still gonna bounce back and be all rubbery. Like I don't think he can cancel that out. We haven't seen that yet. Um, and for his hockey, does the dark fruit consume hockey and block hockey usage? I'm going to say no, because you can use armament hockey to block devil fruit powers. I don't think there is a devil fruit that can cancel out hockey powers. I think it is supposed to be this one side. Now, if you have good enough control of your devil fruit, you can combine it kind of like Katakuri and Luffy using armament on all their Gatling punches and stuff like that, or Elephant Gun on Gear 3rd. But I think hockey can't be. And I think for Luffy, the power that would get neutralized would be the ability to affect the ground itself, like around him, like Doflamingo, because like being able to control the strings of like turning everything, or their bird cage, something like that from an awakened. I think it would just ruin that part, but he'd still maybe be able to control the threads inside of him. Um, that's if that was a Zoan. It's not a Zoan. Like Doflamingo would not be able to use his strings completely. Like he'd be able to suck all the strings out of the air. Blackbeard would. Yeah, I'd love to see some Blackbeard questions. I think it's so interesting, and I think another good question that I'm not going to be able to answer because I just don't know is who's going to be the final villain. I think it all depends, right? Because say that the final villain, final arc is Laugh-Tale, then obviously the final villain will probably be not Whitebeard, Blackbeard. But if the final arc is uh Mejoie and fighting Emu, then Emu's gonna be the final boss, and we're gonna get the One Piece, beat Blackbeard, then fight Emu and the other gorosei or something like that. I think we're gonna know the pacing and the final arcs by the end of Egghead. Because if we know how we're able to handle against Saturn, I think we'll know. I don't think it's gonna be like one after the other. I think Saturn thinks that he's enough, and either we're going to beat him somehow, and then we're gonna be strong enough, or we're going to lose and have to be like run away, kind of like on Saba Odi, and we're gonna come back on Elbaf or something like that, and we're not going to be able to fight them. We're going to have some power ups. We're going to, get some friendship. We're going to grow as a squad, and then they're going to fight all the gorosei, and maybe one or two crew members are going to team up and beat the gorosei, and then Luffy will beat Emu, something like that. What time is it? Dang, 7:05. I am so tired. Can't wait to go to bed, but I gotta Twilight. And then, so yeah, Voltrex said Blackbeard, Emu, Crossgo, maybe Shanks is the final villain. Like he has to get the One Piece, do all that, and then beat Shanks to prove that he's a great villain, and then he gives his hat back, and it ends the story. That'd be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant, and I would love that. So here's what other thing, right? We don't know how the final arc's gonna go. Is it going to be like a one-on-one, kind of like all the other arcs? But we know Oda has that one crazy fight between some people this year. I think it's this year, like 2024. But then we also do have the battle royale that he talked about. And I'm really curious on how that's going to go and who's going to be in it. We don't know. It could be like the battle royale that we had, because it's not this arc. I know I saw someone, I forget if it was in the comments here or in a video I saw, where the battle royale with Blackbeard versus Law and Kid versus Shanks. That's not it, because that already happened before Oda made that comment about the battle royale. I can't remember the full thing, and I don't know if I ever put it in chat in the Discord. I don't think I did. Let's go to spoilers chat, and let's see if I can find, maybe me or Rex posted a screenshot of this. Yeah, no, I'm not sure if I can find it. And again, I don't have my phone to quickly look it up. That's what I'm streaming with. Let me see if I can Google it. We're doing some research. I'm trying to find that specific comment. No, I do not. Okay. All right. Come on. So Oda adds that One Piece will keep having new content next year, such as an upcoming video game, stage events, Hollywood live action. He also teases that in the manga series, a clash between that person, an epic battle royale will continue. This was December 18, 2022. So maybe that was that stuff, was it? Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I don't think it is. I really think it's going to be coming next year. But he did say this year, so that'll be 2022 into 2023. So maybe it was that stuff. But then who is it referring to? Is it referring to Saturn and Kuma, which hasn't actually started yet? Is it going to be? Was it like Garp? Was it Luffy versus Kizaru? Was the battle royale all the different fights? It could have been. It could have been actually been Egghead, and then I'm not too sure. Tis a mystery. Tis a mystery, indeed. I'm very curious now. Yeah, but like we both said, even if he has outlined the entire ending, Oda's gonna keep adding more until we're done. Like it's not done until it's done. We can talk about the ending and theorizing about that, but we really don't know. Like we could easily go from Elbaf or not to Elbaf. We can go to like 2, 3 different islands. Um and then what's it called? After like 2, 3 islands, then we get to Elbaf, and on those islands, it's a mystery island. It's that snow island. Go to Blackbeard's home. You know, maybe we return. Maybe we go back on the Grand Line and visit some older ones in the first part in the New World, and we're trying to help some people there before we really get forward or something. Like we have time. Like who knows what we're gonna be seeing. Mihawk 2030 beating Zoro with his butter knife. Yeah, that's true. Like, what if I think Luffy's gonna come first, and that's why I think there's going to be that post time, like, like we're gonna be doing some stuff after. Um, so let's actually skip end of story. Let's talk about some dreams. Let's talk about the dreams of the crew. Um, so we're gonna start with Luffy being obvious. I'm just kidding. We're gonna end with Luffy. We're gonna start with Usopp because that's the most obvious, and that is He's just gonna have to train at Elbaf, and I think that's gonna make him a brave warrior of the sea. That's gonna make him stronger, and have more of a will. He's still gonna be weak compared to everyone else. Like Nami at least has Zeus, so that's gonna make Usopp viable, right? And that would also make him a brave warrior because Elbaf land of warriors. Brook, he just wants to see Laboon. That's gonna be kind of easy. It's just to go back. Zoro wants to be a master. Let's end. Let's wait a little bit for Zoro. Nami wants to map everything. She's gonna be going around till she's like the age of Shachi. The person from the previous Pirate Empress. And what's that? That's for like the rest of her life because she wants to map out the entire world. Who else do we got? Sanji, kind of easy. Just wants to see the all blue. And I think if we do defeat Marijois, we're gonna break the red line. We're gonna open up the world to everyone, and that's gonna make the all blue, right? Like I think the all blue, maybe. Okay, so here's a whole other theory because I'm just gonna keep talking because I want to. What if the red line was created by Emu? Maybe not by Emu, but like that old tribe, and the All Blue is a legend from like the time of Joy Boy before this landmass was created 1,000+ years ago, and that's when the All Blue existed, and then like just like Nika, like these legends form, and then we go back and we have to stop Nika, we have to stop the All Blue, and maybe the All Blue, maybe there's like some underwater sea, like ocean thing. Like we have this ocean above us, like the White Sea. What if you have the low sea? Like it's lava or something. Who knows? And that obviously is not the All Blue that we're thinking of, but there's something down there and some mystery and it has some reference. Maybe that's where they're from. Maybe the All Blue is where these demons are from, which the All Blue leads then to this hell ocean of lava and like the core or like this lower layer of the One Piece world. Bro, if I called that right now, oh my god, I'd be crazy. I'd be crazy. I'm gonna have this on record freaking 7 years from now. It's like, yo, there's a lava ocean. Like, I called it. So that's Nami, that's Sanji. Who else? Chopper just wants to be able to cure everything, and that's already slowly going. Like he cured multiple diseases in Wano, so I think maybe he'll learn something from fighting Blackbeard Pirate Doctor or the gorosei. He'll learn something about medicine. That's probably not too hard. Like you just got to make a pretty good drug. Um, Usopp. Let's see. What is Jinbei's dream? Do we know Jinbei's dream? No, because we haven't had his tea party, his sake cup yet, so we don't really know his dream. I don't think it's really a mystery. I think he just wants to sail with a cool pirate, just like Fisher Tiger. Maybe like I guess it's fishman equality. Which again, if he breaks the red line, I think that's gonna create some equality there. So you have that. Robin wants to learn the history, and that's going to happen when they get to Laugh Tale or defeat the gorosei. There's going to be another one there. So yeah, Fisherman Equality, which I think will happen when he defeats the Red Sea, not the Red Sea, the Red Line. So we have Sanji, Usopp, Jinbei, Nami, Brook, Frankie. Yeah, just gotta get to Laugh Tale. Get to Laugh Tale, and you made a ship that traveled the ocean. There you go. So that's Frankie, Chopper, Robin. You have Zoro and Luffy. So Zoro, I think I'm not gonna get into this because this is gonna be some crazy power scaling debate. But it's just a question of how strong is Mihawk? Is he Yonko level? This and that. Yo, what's poppin', Marco? Oh, it's Rex. Yo, what's poppin', Rex? Rex is back as Marco. So it's all a question of how strong is Mihawk. Now, I'm going to say I think there's a possibility that he's Yonko level, right? Because he's Shank's rival, and the reason he's not a Yonko is because he chose not to. He was only one man, so he didn't have that influence, right? Like he didn't have a crew, and because he just became a warlord before the Yonkos were a thing. Because I I know people talk about it, but I don't think that Gold Roger was a Yonko, right? Like I've heard like people talk about that, like before we had, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Shanks, and who's the fourth? Um, I'm missing a Yonko. Big Mom, Kaido, Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, and Shanks. Those four. I don't think there was like Yonko before that. I think the Yonko became Yonko after the first Pirate King. So I think he just became before like there was those four and they were well known, and then Mihawk became like created a bigger name for himself, and he just joined like the as a seven warlord and kept doing it as a warlord. So the question is like, how strong is he? Does Zoro have to be able to pretty much be as strong as Shanks to beat Mihawk? Like, depending on who's stronger. Like, I'm not saying yes or no, but like, how much strength is he going to have to beat him? Because I don't know when he's gonna beat him. Is he gonna beat him when he can beat him, like when it's extreme diff, but he can win, or is he going to try to one up him and he's going to use one sword style on Mihawk, right? Like I think it's gonna be more like a mid diff. Like I think he's going to have it pretty easy with King of Hell and three sword style, maybe nine sword style. I think that'd be really cool. I think to go from Mihawk using a butter knife and Zoro using three sword style to him stepping up his knife to his proper sword and Zoro using nine sword style with this demon form Asura. I think that'd be crazy with like not King of Hell, but the demon form. And then he's going to have a epic clash with Mihawk. And then and the reason I'm asking is he going to beat him like extreme diff or easy is because when in the story will they fight? Because that kind of feels weird to be like on Elbath, yo, Shane, like we're encountering Mihawk, let me go beat him, right? Or is he gonna be like, yo, I just beat the five elders and Emu with my captain, the king of the pirates. Now I'm coming at you. And exactly, there's that other swordsman is Shiru of the Blackbeard pirates. So when is he like is he gonna beat Mihawk and then that, or is he gonna beat him and then Mihawk at the end? But then that just shows how strong Mihawk is, and then that shows what cross guild is possible of when they have him on his back. So there's a lot of question there. Of like what stage and strength I think Zoro is going to be at. Not necessarily Mihawk, though there's still many questions on like how strong he actually is. I think the bigger question is how strong will Zoro be at that time of the final fight between those two. But then another dream that I'm very excited to think about, and the final dream, right? We talked about all of them, is Luffy's. And the reason I'm saying that is up until about a year ago, we thought his dream was to become Pirate King. Plot twist, it's not. And we still don't know a year later. Like the anime viewers just found that. And let me tell you, it was hilarious looking at all the comments on the thing. It's like, so what is his dream? It's like, we're still asking. That happened a year ago and we still don't know. He appears the biggest party. That'd be wild. I'm not sure. Um I think that's all the dreams. Is there anything else? dreams or parts of the dreams that I should try to cover. I think that's all of them because, like I said, Jinbei, yeah, it's just like I think that's all gonna happen. No, I think maybe another question could be, are we gonna get them all? I could see like some of them we just not seeing. Like Nami, we end off with her going on, and maybe like in the ending we see her completing it like 20 years later or something. But it's just hard. Like Zoro, I see happening in the story. Brooke, maybe because that's gonna be like a quick reunion, but I don't think it's gonna be that long. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's like a chapter per character. Like after all these final stories and Luffy's execution or his death or something, we this is after maybe we learn, or maybe his dream is everyone being happy with their dream, like something. Obviously not that, but like it's the party and everyone partied hard, and I don't know. The narrator returns in the fight. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I would love the narrator to return. Yo, yo, yo. Narrator is Emu's dad or Luffy's mom. Plot twist. I don't freaking know, bro. Narrator's a canon character. That'd be crazy. Luffy's adopted by Dragon. That'd be one crappy adoption to adopt someone and then drop him off and not be the father of the child that you specifically adopted. And especially when you are an ex-Marine of the hero who defeated Gold Roger and then adopted the child and gave it to the grandfather who also adopted Gold Roger's kid. Now that is a wild family tree. Uncle Rayleigh and Buggy was. I don't like those. The memes will live on forever. I can't wait to see more memes. Have you guys been seeing the really weird like Giga Chat? Like, oh my god. I'm not even talking about it because I can't handle it. The One Piece memes have been going crazy. Not the root. Dude, I can't. It's crazy some of this crap I've seen and theories I've seen. Yo, Rex, do you remember the 41 page Zoro kills Kaido thesis I found? That was wild. I still need to read that. I want to read that. Why do I want to read it? I don't know. For the lulz. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to remember the whole thing. Yeah, no, there's like a whole bunch of talk about Chinese. Uh, the Grand Line review covered it. If you want to go watch that, I googled it and found the thesis pretty easily. It's hilarious. Been streaming for 2 hours and 41 minutes. 7:30. That's crazy. This tournament's happening in 31 minutes in Fortnite. It's gonna be hype. Bro, read the Minecraft terms of service. That's someone has to. Hey, now I know. If I build something crazy, I can get Mark. I can be the poster child of Minecraft. Hmm. Yeah, no. I'm trying to think because I need to go warm up for the tournament, but I really think that's a good somewhat ending point was their dreams. It's a post. I think we covered a lot. I'm gonna have so much I'm gonna have to go through tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing this tomorrow while I prepare for the One Piece and some other stuff. But yeah, no, we covered like some Blackbeard lore, some uh someone joining the Straw Hats. We talked about their dreams, but we talked about Egghead as well. Hollow Knight. Never played Hollow Knight. What else did we talk about? Oh yeah, a whole bunch of like what it was like emu, some devil fruit powers, what's stronger, Garp, the final fight, ending of One Piece, like when it's gonna end. Bro, for real. Eri also spammed me, and here we are. Because if it wasn't for that Discord, I would not be vibing like this right now. Because there wouldn't be people to like. I wouldn't. There might be like a handful. I wouldn't be thinking that many people would be joining. But here we are. We got like 3, 4, 5 different people that have joined. Listening about One Piece. This is gonna be good for everyone in the server once I put some of these in. Uh, yeah. I think with that though, I'm going to end the stream here. It was a blast. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for the questions. I think it went pretty well. Um, I'm not going to edit it, but I'm going to go through and put the timestamps of all the questions. So it's going to be one big thing, but you can kind of find, and maybe I can make a short, or maybe I can figure out how to clip a certain section, and I can clip those videos. I mean, I wonder how much storage will like a almost 3 hour video be? Because I could totally like trim it and make new videos and cut it and then just upload each question as like a 5 minute video. That'd be wild. But no, I'm not gonna do that because that also would just be spam. Maybe some shorts on some stuff, and then I can go to the big thing. Um, I'll figure something out to get this out there, make it easier to find. I'm gonna work on that the next few days. I'll get it done by hopefully end of Monday because I'm off tomorrow. I work Sunday, but then Monday maybe I have some more time. Yeah, I did that once with like uh this stream that I did. I cut it up into like missions for the COD campaign. there's like a 9-hour video on my, just like 9 plus like a whole bunch of like 30 to hour long videos, and it was just the storage was unfortunate. Let me tell you. But yeah, I also need to go to the bathroom. That's also why I want to end it. So I am going to end the stream here. Thanks all for watching, and if you want more One Piece, like I'm gonna be doing some other shorts and theory videos. I'm gonna be reacting weekly to the chapter and the the chapter and episode. I'm gonna be reacting to both. And next time this is gonna be so much better by tomorrow. The whole setup I'm gonna try to make a little bit more permanent. But what else am I gonna do? Oh yeah, if you subscribe, go look for the community page, and I'll let you guys know when I'll let you guys know in the server too. But when I'm posting like certain videos like this, or when this is gonna come up, I'll have like a date planned, so that way we can kind of set aside some time for more people to join, and have their schedule be open. So yeah, I will catch you on the server. If you want to know more, when this is uploaded, in the description, I'm gonna have a link to my podcast, along with the Discord server for that, but also my own Discord server. So if you want to talk more about anime and with me, and learn about One Piece, but also maybe some Fortnite and other video games and stuff, go join that. Try to make a little community in there. So that, I salute you all. Good night, and I'll catch you tomorrow for Egghead official start, because we're actually going to be on the island tomorrow. Peace. And I have to go the whole way around to turn off the stream. Lol.